Okay, Nasai Minasan. Today we are gonna talk about Shin Ultraman. I just came home from watching the movie itself, and it is a really amazing movie from the perspective of a tokusatsu fan. Okay, so if you're not a tokusatsu fan, you might not actually enjoy this movie that much because it lacks humor, it lacks a lot of, how do I say, a lot of fun stuff is missing from the movie itself. I feel like this movie, the vibe that we're getting from the movie itself is definitely more akin to Shin Godzilla. Like when you watch Shin Godzilla, like you don't get to see the human, but we actually get to see quite a lot of political stuff going on with what is actually happening in the movie, and we get to see all the thing that has been shown to us in a very serious manner, in a sense. Okay, but this movie, I would say I'm gonna give it a 7 out of 10, and the 3 marks deducted is because like I said, for a non-tokusatsu fan to watch this movie, they are definitely gonna felt really bored watching the movie itself, because like it really doesn't have any humor at all. But for me, I enjoy it. Okay, I love the serious stuff. I love how they are able to tell the story of Ultraman and what is the implication of Ultraman being around human and all, like him showing up and helping the human. Like how is that gonna affect the evolution of humanity, Homo sapiens, something like that. Okay, but with that being said, another big thing that I want to talk about regarding the plot is I really feel like I'm watching a trilogy in a single movie itself. So you can actually split up the entire movie into 3 different arcs. So the first arc revolve around the introduction of Ultraman and also the introduction of Zarab. Okay, so that is the first arc. The second arc is Mephila's introduction, and the third arc is the introduction of Zophi. Okay, so all these different 3 arcs actually show us how the story actually progresses over the arc itself. And if this is developed by a Western company, let me tell you for a fact that we are definitely gonna see this into a 3 movie itself rather than happening in a single movie. So if you are feeling like the movie that you watched recently or on the cinema, like even the Marvel movie, you felt like, wow, I felt like I have wasted 2 hours of my time just to watch a very simple movie, you should definitely watch Shin Ultraman, because you get 3 movie in a single movie itself. Okay, so really fun stuff. But I just want to quickly talk about how the entire film was being made. I really enjoy the look. They managed to capture I forgot when I forgot when Ultraman came out in the first time, but they definitely managed to capture the vibe of the first Ultraman itself. One thing that I really enjoy in Shin Ultraman is that the character in the show itself doesn't wear the cringy outfit that you saw in every single Ultraman show, that they have kind of like a special uniform like that. No, they don't have that at all. Basically what they have is a pin to show that, hey, I am working in this department. And if you've been to Japan, if you work in a big firm or something like that, they are definitely gonna give you a company badge. Okay, so this is something that we actually see quite common in Japan. Rather than asking them to wear the uniform and go to work, they actually wore suits with the pin logo, something like that. So that is something that I really enjoy. It's not that I don't enjoy the special suit that we have in the original Ultraman series, but I just felt like this Shin Ultraman definitely makes way more sense for them to not actually have the suit itself, because everything that happened in the movie itself, with the introduction of kaiju and then the introduction of extraterrestrial life form, it actually shows us this is the beginning of humanity meeting up with kaiju and also alien itself. So they're not gonna, even though they have kind of like a special branch, a special department where they actually handle all these crises, but at the end of the day, they are still using human technology that already existed to fight with all these kaiju and to fight with all these aliens, something like that. Okay, so really fun stuff in terms of the plot, and also the cinematography is crazy. Okay, like the we get to see a lot of creative angle being used in the movie itself. That is something that is, I don't know, man, like for me as a film enthusiastic myself, I really enjoy it because they managed to capture a lot of feeling throughout the camera angle that they are actually using. And we got to see quite a lot of close up in the movie itself. It really like are in your face, something like that. Okay, they're not afraid to do a lot of close up of the characters. So that is something that I really did not expect in the movie itself. So this also show us like they pay homage to the first Ultraman itself. Okay, like even the henshin pose, like the henshin item. Dude, I love the henshin item in Shin Ultraman because like if you watch the recent Ultraman series, like the thing that they use to henshin is like becoming more bulky and bulkier and bulkier over the time, and I was like, dude, how are you gonna hide that in your pocket? Okay, like you cannot hide that in your pocket at all. But the thing that allowed Shin Ultraman to henshin is like only the thickness of a pen, or maybe a thickness of a candy bar, something like that. So it is really clean aesthetic wise, and I felt like I am, if they actually sell this henshin stuff, I'm definitely gonna buy it because it doesn't feel like it is out of the place. It looks very sleek, very elegant, so I love that. So with that being said, I just want to move on to the fight scene itself, okay? Because when we talk about cinematography, we need to talk about the fight scene. It is amazing, really amazing fight scene throughout the entire show itself. I feel like the fight scene is definitely one of the highlights of the Shin Ultraman movie, because one thing I really like about the fight scene is I feel like when they fight with the kaiju, it is still a little bit meh. But when they fight with the alien itself, when they fight with Zarab, holy shit, that is, I would say among all the fight scene, the fight with Zarab is definitely the best one, okay? Because we actually get to see Ultraman just flooring Zarab all over the place. Like he uses the special beam, holy shit, the way he uses it is really crazy. Like he just uses it without a K in the wall, and he I felt like when I'm watching the fight scene, I really felt like I'm watching an anime fight scene, okay? Because like Ultraman flew under Zarab and like, wow, I'm just gonna like beam you to the sky and then I'm just gonna cut you off, something like that. It definitely reminds me of Goku a little bit, because when you look at the fight of Goku, he really, one thing that he really loved to do is to get close up to the enemy and then use a Kamehameha to the enemy itself. So it definitely reminds me of Goku for some reason while I'm watching the fight scene between Ultraman and Zarab. I also really enjoyed the fight scene between Mephilas and also Ultraman, even though the fight actually got cut short a little bit, and we never got the answer like whether or not Ultraman can defeat Mephilas or not, okay? So that is something really interesting. But what about Zeton and Ultraman, okay? I felt like that one is definitely not really like a fight scene, because we know for a fact Ultraman couldn't win against Mephilas at all, okay? Like Mephilas is way too OP for them to defeat. So not Mephilas, Zeton is way too much for Ultraman to defeat, okay? So another thing that I enjoy about the fight scene is the lack of dialogue. Like not having a lot of dialogue in the scene itself actually amplified the focus on the cinematography and also amplified the choreography of the fight scene itself. At certain point, you definitely felt like the CG looks really animated. Like it looks very cartoony in a sense. So it depends on your own opinion, but I definitely felt like what am I trying to say? Like I definitely felt like the lack of, like on certain scene, the animation of the fight scene definitely felt not the best, but it doesn't take me out of the movie experience itself, okay? That is what I'm trying to say. Oh my god. But this is really crazy stuff. Like I said, like the lack of talking, the lack of dialogue is so clean, okay? Like even the lack of any jingles at all is so good. Like we don't actually have kind of like I think one thing that the new tokusatsu show has been doing recently is that there's a lot of jingles. Like when they henshin, there's jingle. When they do a finisher, there's a jingle. So everything you do has a jingle, and it sounds cool. But when I look at Shin Ultraman, it is clean, straight to the point. It's not in your face, something like that. So I really appreciate that. Okay, so with that being said, another thing when I talk about the fight scene, I need to talk about the way the movie actually show us when Ultraman actually become tired. Okay, so we actually saw that Ultraman don't the Shin Ultraman don't actually have the light bulb on the chest piece at all. So the way we know that he is actually getting weak is through the color change of his skin suit itself. Okay, we get to see the red is gonna become green because of he becoming weaker over the time, something like that. So that is how they actually portray Ultraman getting weaker and weaker. No, at first, before I watched the movie, when I hear people complaining about the light bulb thing, I really felt like, oh man, you guys are just holding on to something in the past that doesn't really matter. If they want to change it, they should change it. But after watching the movie, I totally agree that the light bulb should definitely stay. Okay, the light bulb should stay, and the reason why is because, like I said, the fight scene don't really have any dialogue at all. So if they actually add the light bulb, dong 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 dong, it will actually increase a certain intensity on certain scene itself. Okay, I felt like, especially in the fight with Mephilas and also the final fight with Zeton or not Zeton, okay, but with Ultraman trying to escape the black hole, he's trying his best to fly away. If we actually get to see dong 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 dong, I was like, god damn, it is gonna be so intense. But we don't actually have the light bulb at all, so we can't even tell whether or not Ultraman is growing weaker or he is just being okay, something like that. Okay, but like that is the fight scene. Okay, I really enjoy it. And another thing I want to talk about is like one of my favorite character in the show is Asami. Okay, because Asami is definitely the character that has been carrying the plot throughout the entire movie. Like she is the one that cares about Shinji, like he wants to be the partner, the buddy of Shinji, something like that. And if this is a Hollywood movie, we're definitely gonna see Shinji and Asami, like kissing or falling in love with one another, something like that. But I believe like that is not the point of the movie itself. Okay, like that is not the main thing of the movie. And Japanese people really love to tell their story with a single-minded focus, so they don't actually try to put in like relationship stuff going on in the movie itself. Like this is not Wonder Woman, okay? But this is something else really fun. So like when I talk about Hollywood, when I think about Hollywood, how would Hollywood make Shin Ultraman? Like I said, they are definitely gonna split this movie up into a trilogy, and we're gonna see quite a lot of the Ultraman in the form of Shinji moving around and kind of like fish out of the water, kind of like trying to experience like how this world actually act, how people actually communicate and relate with one another. And we're definitely gonna spend quite a lot of time where Ultraman actually saw people that so human. Certain human are not like are very evil, and some human are really good. We're definitely gonna see that if this is being developed by Hollywood itself. Okay, that is just my thought. And if this is developed by Hollywood, another thing that we're gonna see is the love relationship between Asami and also Shinji itself. But this is not developed by Hollywood, it is developed by Toei Tokusatsu. So the way they go about to do this movie itself is the main focus. They remember their main focus is Ultraman, so they are not wasting any time on other stuff. So that is something else that I really enjoy about Japan cinematic films, something like that, because they're not wasting time telling story that it doesn't really matter to the story itself. They are focusing on the story itself. Okay, so really amazing movie that I definitely enjoy myself. But like I said, if you're not a Tokusatsu fan, when you watch the movie, you're kind of felt a little bit bored, okay? Because it is not Marvel, it's not gonna entertain you, it's not gonna make you laugh in every single 5 seconds, something like that. But I enjoy it, I love it, and that is all from me. If you made it this far into the video, comment orange in the comment section below to let me know you actually finished the movie and finished the video. And I'll be seeing you guys on the next one. Goodbye.